Hello everyone, welcome to Dental Shots. This is Dr. Mohana Priya. We are going to see the topic tongue today. So, as we all know, the tongue is the muscular organ in the mouth. Okay, it is divided into anterior 2/3 and posterior 1/3 by an anatomical area called sulcus terminalis. The sulcus terminalis divides the tongue into anterior 2/3 and posterior 1/3. See, the apex of the sulcus terminalis has a foramen cecum. So this is the point where the thyroglossal duct originates from. Okay. So next we will be seeing about the attachments of tongue. Where are the tongue gets getting attached? One, it is getting attached to the mandible and the hyoid bone, styloid process, and also to the hard palate and pharynx. So these are the areas where the tongue is getting attached. Okay. And then coming to the papilla. What are the papillas present in the tongue? Mainly, it will be named. The papillas are mostly named after their shape. Okay. So the valid papillas are located anterior to the sulcus terminalis. So we said the division between the anterior 2/3 and posterior 1/3 is by the sulcus terminalis. So just in front of the sulcus terminalis is the valid papillae, or sometimes it is called as circumvalid papillae. Okay, and then the filiform papillae, fili means cone shaped. So the cone shaped papillae are present parallel to the sulcus terminalis. The arrangement would be more or less parallel to the sulcus terminalis, okay, in the dorsum part of the tongue. But in the lateral aspect and the apex of the tongue, if you have a mushroom shaped papillae called fungiform papillae. Since it is fungiform means the mushroom shape, fungus like. So they are present in the lateral borders of the tongue and the apex of the tip of the tongue. So coming to the posterior 1/3, it has a lingual tonsil. Okay, so remember this. Then coming to what is the use of this papillae? It is covering the whole tongue, and also it is useful in the taste perception. Okay, so mostly the name will be mostly based on the shape, and you have to remember the location of each papillae. Then there is also one more papillae which is very vestigial in human, that is foliate papillae is very rare in humans. Okay, so for what is the functions? The function is taste, speech, food manipulation. So these are the three main functions of the tongue. Okay, coming to the developmental aspect, embryology, the tongue develops at the 4th week of gestation. Okay, 4th week of gestation. You have to remember only these things are contributing to the tongue structure. That is 2 lateral swelling, 3 median swelling, and 1 occipital myotum. So you remember this, then you can remember the in-depth of the embryology of tongue. 2 lateral swelling, 3 median swelling, and occipital myotum. So it starts at 4th week, wherein the anterior 1/3 is contributed by the 2 lateral swelling and the first median swelling called tuberculum impar. Okay, as I told, 2 lateral swelling and 3 median swelling. Among the 3 median swelling, only the first median swelling is contributing to the anterior 2/3, anterior 2/3. In addition to the 2 lateral swelling. Okay, so which is all these 2 are derived from the first pharyngeal arch. Hence the nerve supply is from the trigeminal nerve. Okay, trigeminal nerve. And then the posterior 1/3 is contributed by the second median swelling called copula or hypobranchial eminence. So this is being arrived from the 3rd, 2nd and 4th pharyngeal arches. Hence the nerve supply is from the glossopharyngeal nerve. Okay, the glossopharyngeal nerve. Then coming to the epiglottis and epiglottic region, it is from the 3rd median swelling, which is contributing to the posterior, which has been derived from the posterior portion of the fourth pharyngeal arch, and that is supplied by the superior laryngeal nerve. Then the muscles of the tongue is from the occipital meatum. All the muscles, mostly it's supplied by the hypoglossal nerve. So this is the embryological aspect, that is two lateral swelling, three median swelling. First would be tuberculum impar, second would be hypobranchial eminence, third will be for the epiglottic region. So based on the origin of the pharyngeal arch, the nerve supply also differs. The first anterior 2/3 by the first pharyngeal arch, posterior 1/3 by the second, third, fourth pharyngeal arch, and the epiglottic region is from the posterior portion of the fourth pharyngeal arch, and the muscles from the occipital meatum. Based on the arch, you have a nerve supply. First from the trigeminal, second, third, fourth from the glossopharyngeal, posterior of fourth pharyngeal is superior laryngeal nerve, and lastly meatum. All the muscles mostly by the hypoglossal nerve. Okay. Coming to the blood supply, okay, and the nerve supply. It's the lingual artery. Lingual artery is a branch of a external carotid artery. Remember, 4 branches are contributing to the blood supply of the tongue, that is suprahyoid, dorsal lingual, sublingual, deep lingual. So don't forget these branches of the lingual artery, like you put a tongue structure. Okay, so suprahyoid, so this is attached to hyoid bone, as I already told. So there's hyoid, superior to the hyoid bone first, and then dorsal lingual, sublingual, and deep lingual. So draw a structure of a tongue where it is getting attached, suprahyoid and dorsal lingual, sublingual, and deep lingual. Remember this. Okay, so suprahyoid. So remember in this way. Then coming to the nerve supply. Nerve supply, we have motor nerve supply. Both extrinsic and intrinsic muscles of the tongue are supplied by the hypoglossal nerve. And only one exception is there, that is the palatoglossus muscle is alone supplied by the vagus nerve. Okay, all the muscle of tongue supplied by the hypoglossal except palatoglossus by the vagus nerve. Then coming to the anterior 2/3, it has a 2 nerve supply contributed by the for the taste and general perception. Taste by the chorda tympani of the facial nerve, and general by the mandibular branch of trigeminal nerve. Okay, the lingual branch. Then anterior 1/3 we saw, 2/3. So posterior 1/3 for the taste and general, only the same glossopharyngeal nerve. Okay, and the epiglottic and glottic region, taste and general, both by the internal laryngeal nerve of the vagus nerve. So remember, muscle hypoglossal except palatoglossus, it will be by the 10th cranial nerve, and general and taste perception anterior 2/3 and posterior 1/3. Anterior 2/3 taste by the chorda tympani facial nerve, general by the lingual mandibular branch of trigeminal nerve, and also the posterior 1/3 by the glossopharyngeal nerve, and epiglottic and glottic region would be by the internal laryngeal nerve. Coming to the muscles of the tongue, they are intrinsic muscles and extrinsic muscle. So the intrinsic muscles are easy to remember: 2 longitudinals and transverse and vertical. Superior longitudinal, inferior longitudinal, transverse lingual, vertical lingual. So what are the functions? You just have a superior lingual. So superior lingual will help this as a tongue. It will just curl upwards. So the superior edge. Inferior longitudinal will curl downwards, so that it broadens the tongue. Okay, it just curls down the tongue. And the transverse lingual will elongate. That is, if you make your tongue at the sharp tip, that elongation is by the transverse lingual. Vertical, it will flatten. Okay, it will flatten, broaden the tongue. Okay, then intrinsic muscle, genioglossus, styloglossus, hyoglossus, palatoglossus. So it's easy to remember. So as we all told, it is attached to the mandible, styloid and palate, hard palate and hyoid bone, all the origin from the same attachment. Genioglossus, styloglossus, hyoglossus and palatoglossus. What is the action produced by this extrinsic muscle? Or genioglossus will protrude the tongue. Styloglossus will draw up the tongue as that of superior longitudinal. Hyoglossus will depress and retract the tongue, and palatoglossus will elevate the posterior part of the tongue. Okay, so this is the two types of muscles of the tongue and their action. Coming to the physiological variants, so some people will have a attachment of the lingual frenulum at the tip of the tongue, which is called as ankyloglossia. It has to be a lingual frenectomy has to be done to relieve the tongue tie, so that the speech and every function would be in an ideal manner. Then coming to the fissured tongue, the tongue will have lot of fissures, which would be sometimes correlated with certain syndromes like Down syndrome. Sometimes normal people do have this, so it just we have to make sure that the patient maintains the tongue cleanly, okay, so that there will be no inflammation due to the food deposition on the fissured tongue. Then geographic tongue, the reason behind this is not known, so it is idiopathic, and this would be like a map-like structure, redness, which moves around on the dorsum of the tongue. Hence, it is called mimicking the map, so it's called the geographic tongue. Then the surgical consideration, the thyroglossal ductus, which originates from the foramen cecum. It will be seen as a soft fluctual swelling which will be moving when you are swallowing. In the midline neck swelling would be seen, so mostly it will need a surgical removal. Okay, and then clinical significance, when you put a patient under general anesthesia, the muscles goes for paralysis. So in case where genioglossus also goes for paralysis, and the tongue tends to go back and fall back and cause respiratory distress, so its intubation has been done to avoid this. And also certain cases where the taste sensation will be lost is called dysgeusia. And in Ludwig's angina will be mostly when you have a cellulitis in the orofacial region involving the submandibular infection. It will affect the retropharyngeal space due to the swelling of the tongue, which is the tongue will just increase in size due to the space infection, like 2 to 3 times, and then it will affect the retropharyngeal space, causing respiratory discomfort. So in that case also we have clinical implication. So this is the overall view of tongue. Hope you like the video. If you like the video, kindly subscribe to Dental Shots. And if you want any topic of particular concern, you can just comment on it so that I will upload the video related to it. Okay, thank you for watching. Have a great day. God bless you.